In this lecture, we'll be exploring selectors in more detail. So till now, what we have been doing is inside site.css, if you see, we have been mentioning header, footer, body, and what exactly they are in CSS terms, they are selectors. So here, when we specify a selector like body, it goes and finds out any element exists with that name or not in the HTML page, and if it does, it applies this style to that particular element. Now, what we need to do over here is, if we go and create an ID, for instance over here, I go and say I want to give this section ID, and let's call it as main section. So basically this is an ID, and the main thing to note about ID is that IDs are unique in the whole page. So if you have defined a section with this ID, main section, you cannot have the same ID assigned to some other element like footer or header or something else. So you need to ensure that you have a unique ID associated with the element in the whole page. Now here we have given this ID called main section to this section element, and let's save this. What we need to do now is we'll go inside site.css, and here we'll be writing CSS for this particular ID. To target IDs in CSS, we make use of the pound symbol, and then we specify the ID name, and after that it's exactly the same how we have been writing CSS till now. So here we'll be introducing a couple of things. For instance, the first thing that we'll be doing is border. So we'll say border colon solid, and here's the color code. You can choose any other color if you feel like, and that particular color will be assigned as border color. Next, what we'll be doing is we'll be specifying a border radius, which we saw in the previous lecture as well. So here it will give curve to the borders edges, and let's go with 5 pixel. Next, what we'll do is we'll have a color for the text that is inside the main section, and let's use blue violet as the color for the text inside the section. And after that we'll be making use of margin. So margin is like how much space from top, right, bottom and left you need to give to that particular section. So here we have a couple of patterns which we can use. For instance, if you just specify one value like 20 pixels, it's going to assign the same value to top, right, bottom and left. And if you want to specify individual values, what you can do is you start in a clockwise direction. So first value that comes up is 20 pixel top, then comes right, so let's call it as 0 pixels, and then again goes to the bottom. So here I say 20 pixel to the bottom, and then left, so here I'll say 0 pixels to left. Now the cool thing is, if you have common values for top and bottom and right and left, you can combine them and just reduce it to 2 places. So here 20 pixel will be applied to top and bottom, and 0 pixel will be applied to right and left. So that's what margin is over here for our section. And after that we'll be going with padding. Now padding also goes with the same syntax. You can specify it exactly in the same manner as we did with margin. So here I'll be just going and saying 5 pixels for top, right, bottom and left. Let's save this and run our page now. So here let's reload this, and a couple of things that I'll show you. Over here, if you highlight section, you will see all these styles coming up, but the cool thing is just go to the computer tab. Here you will see this whole thing designed for you, so you'll be able to better understand what exactly is happening. For instance, when I say margin 20 pixels, you can see 20 pixels to the top, 20 pixels to the bottom, and then 0 pixels, so there's hardly anything over here on left and right, you can see. And then we have border. So here is the border. You can see border is 1 pixel solid, and the color that you provided, that is coming up over there. Next that we specified was padding. So this is what padding is. Here we have 5 pixels for top, right, bottom and left. So that is what is appearing over there. And then this is the content. So for content we chose the color blue violet, and that is what you're seeing over here in this section. And obviously the border radius is Here at the edges you can see there's a curve, and that's what border radius is used for. So in this one we saw how we can write CSS styling for ID selectors.